Okay, hello everyone. So I hope you guys are solving these numericals, right? So before going into the solution, please try these numerical ones and then see the solution. So this is the day 3 and ideally you have to solve it on 4th of the February. Okay, so this is we have already done 2 videos and we have solved 10 questions now. Now day 3 is relatively easier, I guess. The questions are very easy in this topic. So let's start with that. The first question is a bullet of mass m moves with horizontal speed u to strike a large wooden block of mass m that hangs vertically by two chord and find we have to find the height and comment on the kinetic energy of the system. This is what we have to start with. Now, you need to understand this question is primarily taking from the conservation of momentum and energy. So this question is from the conservation of momentum and energy, and it's a very easy question. So let's start this. So initially, what is happening? This is hanged, and hmm, sorry. So a mass m is hanged here, and a bullet of small mass m, it is moving with u, right? Now it is going to strike it. Now what will happen after the striking it? So from here, after the striking, it got embedded inside it. Now in this only, it get embedded. So this is the bullet plus pendulum. So here the bullet will get embedded inside it. So m plus the mass will be m. So bullet of mass m strikes this one and it get embedded. Obviously, once the bullet will hit this one, it will get some speed. So let's take the speed is v. And after that, what is happening? It swings up to a maximum height h. Now after that, it is swinging. So let's take, this is the initial position. Now it has swing. So अगर ये swing किया है तो it will move upward. So let's take, it is gone up to a height of h. Now important thing to understand here is that can we go from this to this, right? Can we go from this to this? So this is the scenario 1 when it was hanging, this bullet was coming, and this scenario when bullet plus mass both, it is going to a height h. So can we compare these two scenario and can we apply the conservation of momentum here, or can we apply the conservation of energy here, right? So you need to understand we cannot apply that. Reason being, when this will hit m, it will be an inelastic collision, right? It will be a perfectly inelastic collision, so lots of the energy will get out from the system, so we cannot conserve the energy now. So we have to do into the chunks. From here to here, you can understand that there is no external force acting in the x direction. Please try to understand, we are ignoring the gravity as of now. So just before and after collision, no external force in positive x direction, or simply x direction, because we are assuming that instant only. Okay, so what we can do, we can conserve the momentum, conservation of momentum. Now from the conservation of momentum, we can simply say that initial momentum was mu because it is going into one direction. So we can ignore the vector symbol here and we can just write directly. So mu, and the final will be m plus m will be mass and it's going with v. So from here I can say that ki v will be mu by m plus m. This is the first scenario. Now once the bullet gets embedded inside that, now it is going to a maximum height here. So now from here to here, what we need? We need conservation of momentum. Why? Because only conservative force is acting. That is the gravity, right? So we can conserve the momentum and we can simply write that ki initial kinetic plus final is equals to final. So initial potential energy is 0, let's say. And what was the kinetic energy initially? So initially it is having 1 into m plus m v square. And once it go to the maximum height, this is the h max, the kinetic energy will be 0, you know that. So it will be m plus m into g into h max plus 0. Kinetic energy will be 0. Why 0? Obviously, if it is going to be the maximum height, the velocity will be, the speed will be 0 there. So ye khatam. So h max will be v square by 2g. It's a very easy question. Just need to understand कि इस तरीके से लगाना है कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम एंड कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी अलग अलग. So if you see it from the numerical side, it is very easy. But जब लिखना start करोगे तो there is lot of thing you have to write. For example, for conservation of momentum, if it is asked for 20 marks, we have to derive that also again. So we are not going to talk about those things. Just the plain solution here. So v square is this. So m square u square upon 2g m plus m का whole square will be your answer. So this is your answer. I hope सही आया होगा because this is one of the easy questions that we can have from conservation of energy and momentum. Both are acting simultaneously, but the way we will integrate these things will differ. Okay, now moving to the next question. This question is again I am taking from the equation of motion, and it is saying that a spherical drop is there falling under the constant gravity, because that is the only gravitational force is acting. That means a drop is there which is falling under the action of gravity. This, okay, grows by absorbing moisture from the surrounding. You might have studied these things in your geography class also, right? So downburst and downstream. ठीक है, नहीं पढ़ा तो कोई बात नहीं. And as it move along, its mass gets increases. ठीक है, इसकी मास क्या हो जा रही है, इंक्रीज हो रही है. सो द रेट ऑफ द मास increases proportional to the instantaneous surface area. Obviously, when mass is increasing, its radius is also increasing, and so as the surface area. ठीक है, assuming that drop start with infinite small, that means it is starting from r tending to 0. Find its acceleration at time t. किसी time t में what will be the acceleration, that we have to find. Again, what is given? The rate of mass proportional to instantaneous surface area, that is dm by dt is proportional to surface area as. Now we can simply write that dm by dt is equals to, proportionality हटा के we can have a constant is k. And what is surface area? Surface area of sphere is what? 4 pi r square, where r is what? Radius. Now we know that what is the mass is rho into volume. Obviously the density will not change here. So what is the volume? 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now put it here. If you put it here, 4 by 3 rho pi will come outside. So 4 by 3 rho pi will come outside, and it will be, एक स्टेप पढ़ लेते हैं, dr cube upon dt is equals to k upon 4 pi r square, right? Now you know that 4 4 pi will cancel out. So it will be rho by 3 dr cube by dt. It will be again 3r square dr by dt is equals to k into r square. Again r square cancel, 3 cancel. So what we have now? We have dr by dt is equals to k by rho. This is the rate of change of radius, not position, right? This is the rate of change of radius. Now what we can find out the radius. So dr, radius is 0 to r, infinitely small, it is given, is equals to k by rho integration dt from 0 to t. So from here you can simply write that ki r will be k by rho into t. Now we have to find the acceleration. So we know from the Newton's law, Newton's second law, that ki f net external is equals to rate of change of momentum. Everything is going in the one direction, so I am ignoring the वेक्टर सिंबल एज ऑफ नाउ. सब कुछ डाउनवर्ड हो रहा है तो उसके लिए लिख रहे हैं हम लोग. व्हाट इज एक्टिंग? सो इट इज एम जी विच इज एक्टिंग डाउनवर्ड, and what is dp? M into v upon dt. Now this mass is changing. It is a question of variable mass system. Try to understand. So I have mixed the question of equation of motion with variable mass system. So what can you write for the m. So let's write it. So m can be written as 4 by 3 pi r cube. And what is r? K by rho. So k by rho ka cube into t cube, right? Into g. What will be inside here? The same thing. 4 by 3 pi k by rho ka cube into t cube into v. This is mass into v upon dt. So let's write one more time. This 4 by 3 pi k by rho ka cube t cube into g, and here it will be again 4 by 3 pi k by rho cube will come outside, and we are having d into t cube by v into dt, right? So 4 by 3 4 by 3 pi pi, this will cancel out, and we are having d t cube by t upon dt is t cube t. So from here we can integrate now. Integration of dt cube v is equals to t cube g बाहर ले लेंगे 0 to t into dt, right? Again it is from 0 to t cube. ठीक है? Or you can do this integration with the help of indirect integration also. So similarly you will have t cube v will be t4 by 4 into g. So t cube t4 cancel out. Obviously you know that कि इधर लाकर हम लोग करते हैं t not tending to 0, है ना? So you know that the drill. So v will be simply g by 4 into t. So what is a? A is dv by dt. So it will be g by 4. So this is what we can write, g by 4. I hope you know the integration and all those things. So उसमें नहीं जाएंगे. These are basic integration. This is how you will approach this question. And the acceleration that we are getting is constant here, right? So it is g by 4. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Again, this question I have taken from the equations of motions. And earlier UPSC used to ask questions from these topics, especially the acceleration in the polar coordinates. So we know that radial acceleration. So I hope you know this formula, that a of a curve, acceleration along a curve is given as r double dot r theta dot whole square r cap plus 2 r theta dot plus r theta double dot. ठीक है? So this is the acceleration in a polar coordinate. Now you know that this is my radial acceleration and this is my tangential acceleration. And they're asking that a particle moves with theta dot omega, which is constant, and r is given where r naught and beta are constant. We have to find out for the certain value of beta, the particle move with ar equals to 0. That means we have to find the value of beta when value of ar equals to 0. It's a very easy question, right? So we can solve it. See, I am assuming that you guys have already attempted these questions. You have brainstormed through these questions. You have tried or tried to solve these questions, right? So this video is meant for only to check your answer whether you have done right or not, and to get the idea how to solve it if you are unable to solve that. Okay, moving ahead. So this AR, which is R double dot minus R theta square, is 0. This is what they have given. What we can write that ki R double dot will be R theta square. So let's find out R. So R is equals to R naught e to the power beta t. So what will be R dot? It will be R naught beta e to the power beta t. What will be double R naught? So R naught beta square e to power beta b, or simply you can write that R double dot is R beta square. Just put it. So R beta square theta dot ka square, it is what? Omega square. Omega is given, so beta will be equals to plus minus omega. That's a very easy question. क्या किया जाए? So I have given you also easy question so that you don't get demotivated. So let's say in mechanics, I am giving you 50 question, है ना? Week 1, week 2, you are getting 50 questions. Out of these 50 question, if you are able to solve 30 plus numericals, that means you are good, better than the average. If you are able to solve 40 plus, that means you are good at numericals. If you are able to solve 45 plus, that means बस और कुछ नहीं करना है, just need to revise it. Okay, that's a big question. चलो, a satellite of 25 kg is around the Earth in an elliptical orbit. The altitude at Perigee. Please try to understand. This is one of the trap where you can find in the numerical. Altitude is given, not distance. Okay. So distance will become distance between the midpoints, obviously. So it will become radius of the Earth plus altitude. Yeah, that na. So this is Earth, and this is what we called as altitude. So you have to add RE for all numerical purpose. This is the first thing you should understand. Satellite is going in an elliptical path. So this is the elliptical path. Bhi dekh lo. This is what we call as elliptical path, right? And in elliptical part, we are having two foci. In one of the foci, we will be having sun, not sun, Earth in this case, Earth and satellite system. Let's say we are having Earth at this side. So if a particle is here, this is the pass wala part. So it is known as perigee, and this will be apogee. Now you need to understand, if we know that angular momentum is conserved, let's say here the V will be there, right? So V will be at perigee, and this will be R at perigee, and at these position they are perpendicular, right, to the distance between them. Here also VA, this is RA, right? This is perpendicular. Okay, so let's, this is RA, ये पूरा का पूरा, sorry, from the earth. Distance will be RA, that is the distance between the earth and the apogee position. And we know that the angular momentum remain conserved. So L is equals to mvr, m r cross v, as r and v are perpendicular. So we can simply write mvp into rp or mva into ra. Now this is what we can write. Now these foci are, this is at AE, and we can have another foci that is minus AE. Although we don't need this foci minus AE as of now, because this is given AE, where E is known as eccentricity and A is the length of semi major axis. ठीक है, आई होप यू नो दैट, इसको इग्नोर कर सकते हैं हम लोग, ठीक है. So the first one is given that कि find out the value of semi major axis and second is eccentricity. So दोनों सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, 1 and 2 एक साथ ही. What is given? Altitude at perigee is 100 and apogee is 3600. ठीक है, so let's write down. So this RP, this distance RP will be equal to what? ये पूरा का पूरा A, ये AE. So A minus AE, what is distance? So we have to radius of earth plus 1100, and RA, A plus AE, radius of earth plus 3600. Now see these two equations. Linear equation, two variable, right? RE की value, you know that RE, radius of the earth, is 6400 kilometer. So if you add both, you will get the value of A, that is 2A will be 2RE plus 36 plus A 4700, and RE is what? 6400. So if you put it, A ki value will come out 8750 kilometer. Everything I have written in the kilometer. Please try to understand. This is in kilometer. But if you subtract this with this, 2 with 1, what will happen? AN will cancel out, RE will cancel out, 2AE. So 2AE will be equal to 3500 minus 1100, it is 2500. So E will be 2500 by 2A. 2500 by 2A. This we can write. And please remember, this is also in kilometer, this is also in kilometer. So when you solve it, it is coming out to be 1.42, almost equals to 0.143 we will take from now. Please remember the things. Please remember the unit. This is very important. Now you will understand the importance of that. The third thing we have to find is the energy of the satellite, right? So energy of the satellite, we can find it. So energy will be E is minus GMM small mass upon 2A. This is the mass of Earth and this is the mass of satellite. So put it, so minus 6.674 into 10 to the power minus 11 into 5.97 into 10 to the power 24 into 2500. Everything is given SI. Now into 2 into A. A is what? 8750. It's kilometer. So divide by 10 to the power 3. So if you solve it, it will come out by minus 5.6919 into 10 to the power 10 joule. Okay? I hope you know these formula. These are very basic formula, elementary formula. And again, this is from we are doing from the Kepler's law that is mentioned in our syllabus. So in from Kepler's law, apart from the derivation that they ask, and usually they are not asking now, they can ask these type of numerical in which you have to derive it also. If they ask this thing in 20 marks, you have to derive few things like L. You will start from the Kepler second law and then you will do. Okay, so L formula, I'm directly writing the formula would be M into root under G into MA into 1 minus E square. Now please have a habit of writing these things, numbers, and then solving it in the using the calculator. So 6.674 10 to the power minus 11 into 5.97 into 10 to the power 24 into 8750. Now again it is in kilometer. Please don't make this mistake. So we have to convert into meter. So 3 multiplied by 1 minus E square, that is 1 minus 0.143 whole square. If you put into the calculator, you will get something 1.4069 into 10 to the power 14 kg meter square per second. कुछ नहीं है. That's why just need to calculation. Please make sure that you are calculating right. In these questions, they're not checking your ability to solve question. They're only checking your calculative skill, whether you're writing correct answer or not. And if you will write wrong, you'll get 0. Now again, using this, we can find out the value of Vp. So if you have to find Vp, will be L upon Rmp. So for example, here Vp, so L upon MAP. What is AP? So L upon, sorry, Rp. A into 1 minus E. But I open. So put the value of L from here. A we know everything. So it is coming out to be 7792.76 meter per second. And VA, which will be again L upon MRA, which is what? L upon M, and distance is 1 plus E. If you put it, you will get 5842.86 meter per second, right? So please double check your calculation whether you're getting right or not. And if you're watching this video, I want that you should comment ki how many questions you have attempted and how many questions you have made it correct. Okay. And if you're able to understand what I am teaching, right, please try to write, because this is the only mode of conversation that I can have. Okay, na? So whatever you feel, you can write, and I will be able to understand, and I will be able to incorporate such suggestion in the coming videos. Okay, let's get started to the last question. This is the पता नहीं क्यों दे दिया मैंने but ठीक है, it's a very easy question. It should not take more than 1 minute or 30 seconds. So the orbit of ellipse is eccentricity is given, ratio of maximum speed to the minimum speed. क्या ही question है ये, कर लेते हैं, given है तो. So E is given as 0.0167, right? So L, we know that angular momentum M into Vp into AP, perigee, M into Va into Ra, apogee. मैं बार AP क्यों लिख रहा हूँ? RP, right? Now you know that कि at perigee it will be maximum and at apogee it will be minimum. We know that the conservation of angular momentum. We have studied these things in class. So MM will cancel out. So what will be V max upon V minimum? So V max upon V minimum will be simply RA upon RP. What was RA? 1 plus E. A into 1 minus E. A will cancel out. 1 plus E, 1 minus E. Everything is given here. It's coming out to be 0.399. Now, one thing I want to tell you in the last of the video, I know you guys are occupied with the prelims, but if you are able to maintain this consistency, trust me, we are going to solve 250 questions in 10 weeks, right? 5 questions you have to attempt, and attempt take only 15 minutes, 3 minutes per क्वेश्चन. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व इन 3 मिनट्स, उसको छोड़ दो, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. मतलब मेक अ टाइमर ऑफ 15 to 20 मिनट्स, राइट. लेकर बैठो इस न्यूमेरिकल शीट को एक दिन का. वट एवर यू कैन डू एंड उठ जाओ. उसके बाद जो क्वेश्चन नहीं बन रहा है, हार्डली आउट ऑफ 5 हो सकता है यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड 3 क्वेश्चन, राइट. वीडियो देखो, 2x पे लगाओ, वो तीनों क्वेश्चन देखो, काम खत्म, ठीक है. This is a very small effort of 30 minutes daily, but if you will do it, you will be in a very good पोजीशन आफ्टर द प्रीलिम्स. उसके बाद तुम्हें ये सारे क्वेश्चंस नहीं देखने पड़ेंगे. यू विल बी आर एट एज, ठीक है. सो आई नो इट्स प्रीलिम्स टाइम, दिक्कत हो रही होगी, बट प्लीज इफ यू कैन मैनेज इट, you will at the age. Okay, so that's all for this video. Next video will be for the day 4. It will be uploaded tomorrow. Thank you everyone. Bye.